Good morning, precious one. You have arrived at this moment for a reason, not by accident, not by chance. And what I am about to share with you today may be the single most transformative thing Neville Goddard ever taught, and also the most misunderstood. Because most people hear the phrase, act as if, and they think it means pretend. They think it means performing happiness you don't feel, faking a smile when your bank account is empty, forcing positivity over pain. But that is not what Neville meant, not even close. What he meant was something far more radical and far more powerful. And by the time we are finished this morning, you will understand it completely. Because you are not here to act like someone lucky. You are here to become the person for whom luck is simply how life works. Take a breath with me now. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. We begin. Precious one, I want to ask you something before we go any further. When was the last time something happened to you? Something unexpected, something you hadn't planned, something that seemed to arrive out of nowhere, and it was good. A call that changed everything. A conversation that opened a door you hadn't even noticed was there. A moment where life showed up for you in a way you hadn't earned and couldn't explain. Most of us have had those moments, and when they happen, we call them lucky. But here is what Neville Goddard understood, what he spent decades teaching, what the law of assumption reveals with absolute precision. Those moments were not accidents. They were the outer world catching up with an inner assumption you were holding, whether you knew you were holding it or not. Every person you've ever called lucky is simply someone whose inner world has assumed that luck is their nature. They don't hope for good things to happen. They expect them, not as a strategy, not as a performance, but as a state of consciousness they live in so naturally that they have forgotten any other way of being. And that state, that identity is available to you right now, in this breath, in this moment. And Neville wrote, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and observe the route that the bridge of incidents takes. Today, your wish is this: to be the luckiest person alive, to walk through the world as someone for whom things work out, for whom doors open, for whom life conspires for, rather than against. And the law, the same law that governs gravity, that governs the seasons, that has never once failed in the history of human consciousness, says this: assume it, feel it as real, and the outer world will have no choice but to match it. That is what we are going to practice together this morning. Place your hand gently on your heart. Feel the steady, faithful rhythm beneath your palm. This heart of yours has been beating since the moment you arrived in this world. It has never withheld itself when you made a mistake. It has never asked you to prove you deserved its rhythm. This is the intelligence of your own being. And this morning, we are going to give it a new instruction. I am the luckiest person alive. Don't worry if you don't believe that yet. We're not asking your logical mind for permission. We're speaking directly to the consciousness beneath it, the creative power that Neville called the operant force behind all of reality. Let's begin. Let me tell you something about luck that will change how you understand every single thing that has ever happened to you. Luck is not what happens to you. Luck is a state of being that you inhabit, and then the outer world reflects. Think about the people in your life you would describe as lucky. Not the ones who won the lottery once, but the ones who seem to consistently move through life as though it is arranged in their favor. The ones who say, things always work out for me, and then things do. The ones who stumble into opportunities, who meet the right person at the right moment, who lose one door and find 3 more opening. What do they have that you don't? not better circumstances, not a more favorable starting point, not a secret that life has withheld from you. They have an assumption, a deep, internalized, embodied assumption that they are the kind of person for whom good things happen. And because they hold that assumption, because they live from that state of consciousness, the law of assumption responds to them with precision, the same way it responds to everyone, always, without exception. Neville was unequivocal about this. He wrote, "Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness." Read that slowly. Let it land. There are no causes other than your state of consciousness, not the economy, not your past, not your family, not your circumstances, not the decisions of others, not time. Your state of consciousness is the only cause, and your outer world, every condition, every relationship, every coincidence, every piece of luck is always, always the effect, which means this: the moment you assume the identity of the luckiest person alive, not as a thought, not as a hope, not as a wish you're sending into the universe, but as a state you occupy, a way of being you inhabit, the law must respond. It cannot do otherwise. It is as precise and impersonal as mathematics. But here is where most people misunderstand the teaching, precious one. And I want to be clear about this because it is everything. Acting as if does not mean putting on a performance. It does not mean telling people you're lucky while secretly feeling like you're not. It does not mean white-knuckling positivity. It does not mean suppressing how you actually feel. Acting as if means this: you make a deliberate, conscious decision to inhabit the inner experience of the identity, to notice, right now, evidence that luck has already been present in your life, to build, memory by memory, feeling by feeling, the embodied sense that good things come to you because they always have, even in the moments when you weren't paying attention. Think about it. You are here, in this moment, breathing. That is luck. You have found this practice, this teaching at a moment when you are ready to receive it. That is luck. Every time in your life that something could have gone wrong and didn't, that is luck. Every time something ended and led, eventually, to something better, that is luck. You have been living in a field of luck, precious one. You simply haven't been counting it. That changes today. Take a breath with me now. Feel your body settle. Neville taught that the imagination is the most powerful creative force in the universe. And right now, I want you to use yours. Close your eyes if you're in a safe place to do so. And just imagine what your life would feel like if you were the luckiest person alive. Not in a vague, someday way. In a specific, sensory, right now way. What does your body feel like when luck is simply how life works for you? Is there a loosening somewhere in your chest? A sense of ease in your shoulders? A quiet, unshakable confidence that wherever this day goes, it is going somewhere good? Stay with that feeling. That specific inner experience is not a fantasy. It is a state of consciousness, and it is available to you right now, in this body, in this breath, in this morning. That is what we are assuming today. Open your eyes when you're ready. I want to tell you about someone I'll call Sarah. Sarah was 38 years old. She worked in a profession she had outgrown, in a city that no longer felt like home, in a life that was by every external measure fine, comfortable, safe. But fine is not the same as lucky. Sarah had come to believe, somewhere deep in the architecture of her assumptions, that luck was something other people had, that she was the kind of person who had to work twice as hard for half as much. That when things were going well, something bad was probably on its way. That it was safer, smarter, even not to expect too much. She didn't say any of this out loud, but she felt it every day, in the background, like a quiet frequency running beneath everything she did. And the law, as it always does, without judgment, without exception, responded to that feeling with precision. She would apply for things and not get them. She would start something promising and watch it stall. She would meet people who seemed to open doors for everyone except her. Not dramatically, not catastrophically. Just consistently, quietly, the way a thermostat holds a room at exactly the temperature it's set to. Sarah's thermostat was set to almost. When she found Neville's teaching, she was skeptical, the way intelligent people often are. She needed a reason before she could believe. And what finally landed for her was not the affirmations. It was a single question someone asked her. Can you think of 3 times in the last year when something good came to you unexpectedly? She sat with it, and slowly, reluctantly, she began to remember. The colleague who had mentioned her name in a meeting she wasn't in, which led to a conversation, which led to a connection she hadn't sought. The morning she had taken a different route and run into someone she hadn't seen in years. The day she had almost not opened an email that changed the direction of something important. 3 moments, 3 pieces of luck she had lived through, and then filed under coincidence. Under not really counting. The shift began there. Not with a grand affirmation, not with a vision board, but with the deliberate, conscious decision to count what had always been arriving. She began, each morning, to place her hand on her heart and say with the willingness of someone trying on something new, I am the luckiest person alive. Good things come to me. Life is always conspiring in my favor. Not because she fully believed it yet, but because Neville taught that you do not need to believe something before you assume it. You simply need to inhabit the feeling even briefly, even lightly, and the law will do the rest. Within 3 months, Sarah's circumstances had begun to shift in ways she couldn't have engineered. A conversation she hadn't planned led to an opportunity she hadn't been looking for. A door she had considered permanently closed opened from the inside. The exact thing she had been quietly hoping for arrived in a form she hadn't expected. Was it luck? By every definition that mattered, yes. But it was not random. It was not chance. It was the law at work, responding with the same precision it always had. Only now, her inner thermostat was set differently. She had assumed the identity of the luckiest person alive, and the outer world had no choice but to become the evidence. Precious one, what is your thermostat set to right now? And more importantly, are you willing to change it? Take a breath. Let your body be still, because that is exactly what we are going to do. Now, I want to address something directly, because I know it may be sitting with you. What about when life doesn't feel lucky? What about when the evidence around you, the bills, the relationship, the health, the career, seems to be telling a very different story? What about the gap between where you are and where you are assuming yourself to be? This is the place where most people give up. And I understand why. Because the mind is practical. It looks at what it sees. It counts what is present. And when what is present does not match the assumption, it calls the assumption a lie. But Neville was very specific about this, and I want you to hear it clearly. Appearances are not the truth. The physical world is a reflection of past assumptions, not current ones. Read that again. Let it settle. What you are seeing in your outer world right now is the result of what you were assuming 6 weeks ago, 6 months ago, 6 years ago. It is not the truth of this moment. It is a shadow of the past. The law is already responding to your new assumption. The bridge of incidence is already forming, but it forms beneath the surface before it becomes visible. Just as a seed grows in darkness before it breaks through the soil. The gap you feel between your assumption and your reality is not evidence that the assumption is wrong. It is evidence that you are in the middle of the process. And your only job, precious one, your only work is to stay in the assumption while the outer world catches up. Here is how. When doubt arises, and it will, you do not fight it. You do not argue with it. You do not perform positivity over the top of it. You simply return, gently, firmly, like a navigator who corrects course without drama. You place your hand on your heart, you take a breath, and you return to the feeling. I am the luckiest person alive. Good things come to me. Life is always working in my favor. Not because the circumstances confirm it, but because your consciousness has chosen it, and because you understand with the calm certainty of someone who has learned to trust the law that what is true in consciousness must eventually become true in experience. It is not a question of whether it will happen. It is only a question of whether you will stay in the assumption long enough to receive it. This is what Neville called persistence, and he was clear that it is the single quality that separates those who see their assumptions manifest from those who do not. Not intensity, not perfection, not the number of times you repeat the affirmation. Persistence, the quiet, unwavering willingness to return to the feeling again and again without needing the outer world to confirm it first. You do not dig up the seed to see if it is growing. You planted the assumption. You watered it with feeling. You leave it in the soil of your consciousness and trust the law to do what the law always does. Take a deep breath with me now. Let your body settle into stillness, because it is time for us to plant the seed together. Precious one, before we move into our affirmations, I want to ground you fully in this moment. Find a comfortable position. If you're able to, let your spine lengthen naturally. Place one hand on your heart and one hand on your stomach. Feel the rise and fall of your breath beneath both palms. We are going to breathe together, and with each breath, you are going to release whatever you carried into this moment, the to-do lists, the worries, the evidence the outer world presented to you this morning, and you are going to arrive fully and completely in the truth of who you are. Are you ready? Breathe in slowly. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold gently. 2, 3, and release. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel your jaw soften. Again, breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, and release. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. This breath is an intention. Breathe in the energy of someone who expects good things. Hold it in your body and release anything that has ever told you that you don't deserve them. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, and release. Feel that? That settled, open feeling? That is your natural state, precious one. That is the consciousness that the law responds to, not the anxious, effortful, grasping state, but this, open, present, certain. Now, bring to your mind just one image, a version of you moving through your day for whom luck is simply how life works. See the way this version of you walks, the ease in their step, the quiet confidence in their eyes, the way they move through the world as though they are always in exactly the right place at exactly the right time. This is not a fantasy version of you. This is not a stranger. This is you with a different assumption. This is who you are becoming right now, in this practice, in this breath. Say it quietly with me. I am the luckiest person alive. Let the words be less important than the feeling behind them. Find even one small flicker of truth in them, one moment from your life where luck was present, and let that flicker be the flame we build from. I am the luckiest person alive. Hold it. Let it settle into your chest. And so it is. Now let us begin. Precious one, the affirmations we speak now are not wishes. They are not prayers sent into a void. They are declarations of consciousness, loving, deliberate instructions to the deepest part of who you are. As you hear each one, I invite you to let it land in your body before you move to the next. Feel it, even briefly, especially the ones that create some resistance. Those are the ones that are doing the most important work. Place your hand over your heart, take a breath, and receive. I am the luckiest person alive. Good things come to me naturally and consistently. Life is always conspiring in my favor. I move through the world as someone who is always in the right place at the right time. I was born to receive abundance. Luck is not something I chase. It is something I am. Everything I need finds its way to me with ease. The universe knows my address and it delivers. I am someone life delights in. I am someone for whom doors open. I am someone who finds opportunity everywhere. I am someone who turns situations around. My identity is one of grace, flow, and divine timing. I do not force my good, I allow it. I do not earn my luck, I embody it. I am the luckiest person alive, and the world reflects this back to me every day. The right people find me at the right time. I attract souls who uplift, support, and celebrate me. My relationships are a field of luck, full of warmth, connection, and unexpected joy. People are drawn to my energy and delighted to help me. I am surrounded by those who believe in my potential. Loving, aligned connections come to me easily. Money finds me through expected and unexpected channels. Financial abundance is the natural expression of my consciousness. I receive generously and give generously. Every day, more wealth flows into my life. Prosperity is not something I chase, it is something I am. I am a magnet for financial blessings. My abundance blesses everyone around me. My body is healthy, vibrant, and full of energy. Healing flows naturally through every cell of my being. I wake each morning feeling renewed, restored, and ready. My body knows how to be well, and it does it with ease. Vitality is my natural state. I am always in the right place at the right time. Opportunities find me. I do not have to hunt for them. Every closed door leads me to an open one. What appears to be a setback is always a setup for something better. I trust the timing of my life completely. My good is always on its way to me. I understand that my consciousness creates my reality. I assume good and good appears. I assume luck and luck shows up. I assume abundance and abundance arrives. The law does not play favorites, it simply responds. And I am telling it clearly, lovingly, and with full intention. I am the luckiest person alive. 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 I do not dig up the seed to see if it is growing. I planted the assumption, and I trust the law to do its work. I do not need the outer world to confirm what I know in my consciousness. I am patient. I am persistent. I am certain. What is true in my inner world must become true in my outer world. This is not hope. This is law. I release the need to know how. I release the need to know when. I simply remain in the feeling of already being the luckiest person alive, and the bridge of incidents forms itself. The right people appear. The right conversations happen. The right doors open from the inside. I am grateful for the luck that has always been present in my life. I am grateful for the luck that is arriving right now. I am grateful for the luck that is still on its way. I move through this day as the person I have chosen to be, someone for whom good things happen. Someone for whom life is generous. Someone for whom the world is always working in my favor. I am the luckiest person alive, and so it is. Precious one, before we close, I want to give you something to carry with you beyond this practice. Because the law does not only work while you are in this video, it works every moment of every day, responding to whatever state your consciousness is inhabiting. Which means the question is not whether you will practice this once and see results. The question is whether you will make this identity the luckiest person alive, your default state. Not a performance, not a ritual you do every morning and then abandon the moment life pushes back. A way of being that becomes so natural, so deeply written into your assumption that you forget you ever believed any differently. Here is how you sustain it, precious one. Morning, before you reach for your phone, before the day makes its demands, place your hand on your heart, take one breath, and say, I am the luckiest person alive. Something wonderful is coming today. Feel it for 30 seconds. That is all. Plant the seed, then release it, and trust the law. When doubt arises, when a situation appears that seems to contradict your assumption, a difficult conversation, an unexpected obstacle, a day that doesn't unfold the way you hoped, do not argue with it. Do not suppress it. Simply return. I am the luckiest person alive. What appears to be working against me is being rearranged in my favor. This revision is not denial. It is the highest form of faith, the willingness to trust the law even when your senses are telling a different story. Before sleep, the moments just before you drift into sleep are the most powerful for influencing your subconscious. Let the last words of your conscious mind be these: I am the luckiest person alive. Everything is working out for me. I receive with gratitude and ease. Let those words become the lens through which your subconscious works through the night, and when you wake, you will begin again, not because you have to, not because you're performing for the law, but because you have remembered something true about yourself that had simply been buried beneath years of other assumptions. You are the luckiest person alive. You always have been. You are simply choosing, from this day forward, to know it. Precious one, I want you to stay in this feeling for just one more moment. Place both hands over your heart. Feel the warmth of your own palms, the faithful rhythm of your own heartbeat. This is the consciousness Neville called the creative power. This is the operant force behind all of reality. This is the intelligence that governs the law, and it lives here, inside you, right now. You came to this practice this morning for a reason. Something in you was ready to stop assuming luck was someone else's birthright, ready to claim the identity that has always belonged to you. You are not here to wait for life to get better. You are here to assume it better right now, from this moment, in this body, in this breath. I am the luckiest person alive. Say it one final time, slowly, with everything you have. Let the feeling of it be more real than anything your senses are telling you. I am the luckiest person alive. The bridge of incidents is forming. The outer world is already beginning to rearrange. What is true in your consciousness this morning must become true in your experience, not someday. Now, return to this practice daily. Let these words become the architecture of your assumption. Let the law do what the law always does. Until next time, precious one, go into this day as someone for whom life is always working. And so it is.